Hello, and welcome to Live Coding with Jesse. Alright, today we're not going to do a whole lot of new coding. We're going to check out some pull requests, because the pull requests are adding up, and I've been really busy. So I haven't really had a chance to review them. So today we're going to review them. I figured this would be cool to do live. We've done a little bit of this before, but some of you maybe have never been in a position to review a pull request or try to work on merging them. So I want to try to do the whole process here on the stream. This is going to have to be a shorter stream, so we're going to go maybe about an hour long at most, and it's early because I have meetings later on, so I can't stream my normal time. So, well, I have one meeting that's going to be really long this afternoon, and I'm going to go get a haircut in about an hour and a half. So I didn't realize that I had the other meeting in the afternoon until this morning. Otherwise, I would have given you a heads up yesterday about the early stream. Alright, so hey everybody. I see some of you are here. Yeah, hopefully the notifications worked for you all. So let's get started. Let me share my screen. And I'm just going to go through some of the new stuff. Before we get to the pull requests, I just want to show you all the javascript.af website. So yesterday I let you all know that I am now the owner of javascript.af. So I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with it long term, but Harshit had an idea to make a Discord server. So Harshit set up a Discord server on DigitalOcean, and so right now javascript.af is pointed here. So if you have any questions that we don't address in the live chat, or maybe you'd like to have some ongoing discussion, you can go to javascript.af and join, and it's basically like a forum, like an online forum. So that's there for now. I'm thinking if I decide to do something else with javascript.af, then I can always move this to a subdomain, and so we can keep it going. But for right now, I think this is a pretty cool thing to do, and it will at least be useful. I just wanted whatever we did with it to be useful, so I think this will be useful. I know we have several other channels, like we have a Slack channel, and we had something with like, I don't know, I think we have like 3 different things going on right now in terms of being able to chat. So this is adding another thing, but it's central location, anybody can join. So hopefully this will be, it's not exactly like a chat room like Slack is, but hopefully it'll be useful. So check that out, javascript.af. And if you have any other ideas for what I should do with that domain, let me know. Like I said, we can always do, we can always just move this to a subdomain if we want to do something else with the main domain. Alright, it looks like the notification didn't work for some of you. It's because I scheduled the stream so late, and I'm sorry about that. If I schedule it less than an hour before I'm actually going to stream, then it seems like notifications don't work. So we'll switch it. Oh yeah, Harshit said that server's still on Harshit's DigitalOcean. Harshit, we can get it switched over to mine. I don't want you to have to pay for that server. So I actually have credit on DigitalOcean that I need to use up anyway. It's going to expire, I think, in April. So we'll get that switched over. Let me think. I don't know what all info you need to switch it, but I think the account my main account, the email is just jesseweigel@gmail.com. Let me know what other info you need to transfer that, and then I'll take care of. I don't know how much credit I have, but it's cool. I'll just take care of the cost of it. Okay, cool. Harshit's gonna send me the snapshot, and then I'll take over. But thank you for setting that up, Harshit. That was a really fast setup too. All right, so we've had a lot going on in the pull requests and different things on a lot of different projects. So we're gonna catch up with things now. So just to give you a little overview. So we've been working on mainly these 3 projects. Well, actually, there's 4 projects that we've had progress on, but I told you all about the Electron app yesterday, and I showed you. So we have the Resource Center as an Electron app now, and I still want to do a little bit more testing with it, especially on a Windows machine, and make sure everything works right. But so far on a Mac, everything is perfect. So sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I got a Slack message and it derailed me. So anyway, the Resource Center is taken care of. I really want to get a repo up for the Bulletin to turn that into an Electron app, but we actually haven't finished the Bulletin, the React version of it. So Harshit was doing some work on it. So Harshit, I had asked about implementing a Microsoft login. So of course you all can follow along with this on GitHub if you want. All these repos are public. I'm going to make it bigger so I can see. So I had asked about using a Microsoft login for the Bulletin, since the university I work for switched over to Office 365 about a month ago. So I thought, hey, let's try that. And I had specifically asked Harshit for help because he had set up the passwordless login system that we currently have running on this project. So he went ahead and just set it up, and I tested it. Unfortunately, the problem is when you have like a work Microsoft account, it doesn't automatically become a Microsoft account. It doesn't. I don't know if that makes sense, but like if I tried to log in to like Outlook.com, or if I tried to use Microsoft to authenticate into something else, and I put in my work email, it would say that account doesn't exist. So there are some other steps we can take to make it work, but I think a simpler solution, and one that'll be more user-friendly, is that we're just going to check. So we're going to keep the passwordless login and only allow logins from franciscan.edu addresses. And we're also going to accept any user that is coming from our single sign-on page, because if they're there at that page, it means that they've already signed into that page. So we can trust that, they've got there, and if they got here there somehow, some other way, I'm not worried about it, really. Then we have bigger problems with just somebody reading the Bulletin. So we're just going to use document.refer, which is just in JavaScript, and it lets us get the URL of whatever site the user was on last before they came to this site, whatever site it linked from. So that's what we're going to do. Still need to implement that. I'm actually working on implementing that on the current version, which is just a jQuery single page app that is a private repo right now. I don't know, maybe I'll make it a public repo at some point, but it's really kind of a mess of jQuery and custom routing with that. And it's using the WordPress REST API. So I don't know, for right now it's going to stay private, but I'm going to try to implement the refer thing I was doing that yesterday, and then I had to go to a meeting and I couldn't finish it. So it will be tested out before we even launch this React version of it. So that's it for the React Bulletin. And we'll maybe I'll put a note and close this, but I want to leave a note as to why we're closing that. So we just have some basic stuff. So Franciscan React, this is the main franciscan.edu website that we're working on, and I have a bunch of stuff. Let's check on some of these issues first, and then we'll get to this pull request. So if you don't know where I am on GitHub, these are just my notifications. So you wouldn't be able to see this page because these are notifications for all of my repositories. You'd have to go to these repositories individually. But Material UI has gone to beta 30. So yeah, it is. Harshit mentions they're updating it quite a lot. They are for sure. I just noticed that on Twitter yesterday at some point. And yeah, it's crazy. We're updating Material UI very frequently, which is fine. It's cool as long as there's not a lot of breaking changes. We just have to check for that. So right now this is just an issue. If anybody wants to try to update and then double check that things are still working, feel free to do that. Otherwise, I'll get to it, at some point in the near future. But thanks, Harshit, for bringing that up in an issue. I wanted to, but it's possible I may have forgotten to do it anyway. Alright, so I created this issue, well, 13 days ago. And we wanted to add a search bar to the top nav on that Franciscan site. So Nikki took a shot at this, and let's check out what's going on. Let me make sure that this isn't what that pull request was, though. No, it's not. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on here and see if we can sort this out. I see there's a lot more activity here in the live chat. I'm gonna get to that in just a few minutes. Alright, so I'll read this out in case you can't read this if the quality's bad or if you're just listening. It says, I got stuck trying to implement this one. Everything went fine until I wanted to add the open-close animation. I added an isSearchOpen boolean to the state and wanted to change the value assigned to the search field class based on that. That boolean got flipped on the search icon click, something like with this state of search open. Oh, okay, changing the width with the transition. Alright. The function with the style rules is not inside the component, so you can't access the state like that there. I'm attempting to add this animation the wrong way. How should I go about it? Alright. I guess function with the style rules is not inside the component, so you can't access the state like that there. Okay, so the problem is the style rules. What if you can't change the style rules because of the function there, what if you just added a class to the element and that changed it like a class like open or close, and then you set, instead of having the class be search field, you can have a class that's open and a class that's closed. Then you should be able to access state, and it'll switch back and forth between the two. if anyone else has another way to do that, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to type this in. Let's see. Select access to state. Okay, let me okay. I'm gonna comment on that and see. And this one is, we're going to change color of the search field underline. Alright, so we had in the sidebar, we have another search field, and the color was some like neon green color that didn't match our palette. So, alright, it looks like, so Nikki had asked about the color, but then went ahead, I think, and implemented it. Is it? No, maybe not. Or maybe I just already checked it out. Yeah, it is. Here's an open pull request. Alright, so change color of search label with ink bar and focus. Alright, let's check. So, this is a good pull request here. So the pull request is directly referring to one of the issues that I open, and it's short, it's focused, it explains clearly what's changed, including code samples, even as a suggestion for potentially improving it. Now, usually when I go to check a pull request on GitHub, I read this first, and then I go to the files changed, and then I see what has actually changed. So we can see really the only thing that's changed is just 2 additional classes with some CSS. And it looks like, yeah, so we actually have the classes here now. Yeah, so we've added the classes. So those are all the changes. When the changes are very small like this and the effect is obvious, I don't bother to actually pull in the changes on a separate branch and test it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge the pull request right here. And like I said, I only merge like this if the changes are small and very obvious what they do. So I don't recommend merging like this without testing unless you're absolutely sure of what's going on. A very minor CSS change like this is fine. But especially if somebody's bringing in like other NPM packages and doing things, like test it first on a separate branch. I always like to write a thank you message. If you maintain something, I recommend like always writing a thank you message. It only takes a second. And I think it's polite. I like to get thank you messages. Alright, great. So we have 1 pull request merged. And let's check this one out. And also this one. So this one is add links in the drawer. So we had that side drawer. Let me see. I should probably bring the site up. Let me get this site running so that we can all see. Man, and I just showed my .env file. on YouTube Live, so I'm definitely gonna have to change that now. We weren't gonna end up. We're gonna take out that functionality anyway, so I can't believe I just did that. Let's see. Looking for my. There it is. Okay. I need to get into. Oh, I'm gonna cancel this ngrok. I'm not even sure what was on there. And let's start up this Franciscan site. Alright, wonderful. So let's bring this. Here we are. So this is what we're talking about. This sidebar. And with our links, we wanted to have some external links under here. So that's what this pull request is talking about. And since we did merge something in on GitHub, it's a good idea to pull in those changes. Let me find, here we go, Franciscan site. Let's move this over. And I have a change in the yarn file. No. Alright. I think, yeah, that's it. It's just the yarn log. Alright, so I'm pulling the changes that we just had, but it wants me to merge since I had a change in the lock file that I did not commit. And it opened automatically in Atom on my other screen. Alright, great. So that works. Okay, great. So now everything's up to date. And oops, where are we at? I've already showed this so many times. Let me just I may as well show this. We're gonna have to change all of this stuff, which is fine because those are all testing things anyway. I know I already accidentally showed it, so that's why I just left it on anyway. That way anybody that's trying to take my API keys, I'll save you time from having to try to pause it and write it the right second. Alright. I don't need that right now. No, anyway, here's what I wanted to show. So here's what we have with the color change. Let me see. Actually, that's not bad. I was thinking of using like this yellow color that we're using for this button, but it's not too bad with the gold color, especially since it's right up against this. What does everybody think about this? Let me turn on ngrok so you all can test it out as well. Alright, we're almost coming up to about the halfway point in the stream, so I'm going to take a little break and go back to the live chat now, but I did want to get that ngrok server up and running, so if you can, click on the link in the live chat now. You'll be able to check out the site. Let me know what you think about the color of the search bar. Do you think it should be the yellow color that we have on the buttons that are over top of the hero image? Do you think it should be a different color in the color palette, like maybe the green? Let me know. I'm open to anything. Alright. And yeah, so let me go to the live chat now. I'm going to answer some questions, and then we'll come back and we'll try to pull in the rest of our pull requests, handle any merge conflicts we have. So we may end up having some conflicts here, which I was kind of hoping that we had conflicts just to show that process. So awesome. So we will have some here. It's only going to be just within one of the components, which shouldn't be too difficult, but at least we'll get to see the process. We can actually, maybe we'll try to resolve conflicts here. I don't think we've ever tried to do it right in GitHub on the stream before. We have done it through the command line, but let's try to do it in GitHub. So that's what we'll work on next. Let's see. Siberian says, AF stands for Afghanistan or what? Yes, AF does stand for Afghanistan. So you know how there's the country domains? So I think I believe every country has their own domain. I'm not sure though. I mean, countries that are really newly formed may not have it. But yeah, .af is for Afghanistan. So I actually had to like go on and fill out some information on an Afghanistan like government website, which it was kind of odd. Gander7 says forum equals old school. Yeah, forums are kind of old school, but I mean they're useful. They still work. Let's see. Alexi says, Jesse, can you order your videos and playlists by each project? Yeah, I definitely can. I know I've been talking about it for a while. I just haven't gotten around to do it for every project. I think I do have it done for some projects, maybe like project 1 and 2. At least one of the projects I think I did. I just need to get around to doing it for the other project. So sorry about that. That's one of those things that's been on my mind for a while. It's just easy to put off, you know. Satya says DigitalOcean changed their pricing. It's cheaper now. Yeah, that's true. So if you use DigitalOcean, check it out. I'm sure you've gotten an email about it, but the pricing structure's changed, so you get more powerful droplets for the same amount of money that you've been paying, which is awesome. And if you haven't tried out DigitalOcean, now might be a good time to check it out because the prices are better now. John Hansen says, that site, it's not written in React, needs a better logo with a winking face. Yeah, maybe we should write a React site for that, since we're always working with React. Harshit said we'll change it with Jesse's face. No, you don't have to put my face on there. It's the logo. I hope that was a joke. Oh, I gotta check. Is it really gonna be my face on here? I don't know where it went. I thought I brought it over to show it, but I guess I moved it back over. Oh, here it is. It's on my other screen. Oh no, it's not working now. I guess maybe Harsh is doing something on it. Let's see. Harshit says document.refer can't be trusted, as someone can map that single sign-on link to their host file and can refer to your bulletin. I know the document.refer is not secure, right? My goal is a very moderate level of security for the bulletin. So let me give you some background to explain. The bulletin used to be a Word document that was emailed out to everyone. And then what happened is everyone would just email that out to whoever else wanted it. So their spouses or anybody else in the community. People that didn't even work here were on the email list and got the bulletin. Early on when I got here, one of my first tasks was redoing the bulletin to make it a website, or at least make it was very vague. We just needed to make it, more interactive, update it a bit. So my guidelines were, my idea was, well, there's no reason we really need to make a password because there's not really any sensitive information in the bulletin. And if we did have sensitive information, we usually send separate special emails with important in the tagline. So I didn't think we'd need it, but then basically I had to. So I was told I had to make it password protected, but there couldn't be any new passwords. So that's why I came up. I mean, it's not like I invented passwordless login, but that's why I decided on passwordless login, right? So I'm not worried. It's not like we're guarding some secrets here. Essentially, we just need to have some semblance of this being somewhat protected. Just to let you know, the level that we're at here is that there are other documents that are supposed to be password protected, and literally it is just one password that everybody in the whole university just has the same password. So you log in to an area and it's just in plain text on the page, here's the password to get to this place. So we're not anyway, it'd be nice to have it be secure like that, but to be honest with you, the next time that I have a meeting about it, which should be on Thursday morning, I'm going to really try to get it so that we don't even need a password at all, because I don't think it's necessary. And I know I mentioned this before, but 95% of the emails and phone calls and visits that I get where people are having problems with things that I built are all about the passwordless login system for the bulletin. Because there are various things, older browsers don't work, some people will clear out their local storage, or they have some sort of program that clears out their local storage. So it's always the problem. So anyway, my plan is to just not have any password protection at all on this thing, if possible. If I can't do that, then my backup plan is just to use this referrer thing. That was actually what IT recommended to me to do. When I asked them about integrating this with their single sign-on system, they said do the referrer thing. My response was, that's not really secure, just like Harshit was saying. But the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, what's really the big deal? My other plan is we're going to turn the bulletin into a desktop app and a mobile app at some point, just like we're doing with the Resource Center. So potentially I could have that only available for people to download from behind a login. So if you have that, you'll just get access. And then if other people want to share that file to download, I mean, that's out of my hands at that point, but it'll basically be the same level of security we had back when it was a Word document being emailed. So let me know what you think about that, if anybody thinks I'm crazy or there's some other way to do this. But that's kind of the situation that I have going on with that particular project. All right, Evo says, "Whoa, Jesse, you're early. By the way, hello." Hey, Evo. Yeah, I'm really early. I just have my during my normal stream time. Well, what has become the normal, which is 12 p.m. my time. I have a haircut. I made the appointment like before I started streaming at that time, so it was unintentional that it would overlap with the stream. And then I have another meeting in the afternoon that's supposed to be a long meeting. Let's see. David says, "Remember, Jesse, triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall." I think this is the third time that David has typed that, and as always, that is definitely true and good advice. So thank you. Although usually I hear that same phrase quoted as "pride goeth before the fall." Either way, same meaning. So anyway, basically, stay humble. Stay humble. That's good advice. Let's see. Darkest Onion. Gander7 said, when we were talking about what was the issue? It was with that toggle, that search toggle. The issue about how to get that animation to happen. Gander7 says, couldn't you pass the open close status as a prop? Well, essentially, the problem. At some point, you want it to be in state, so you get a re-render, right? So I guess if it's, as long as it exists in the state in some component, it could be passed down as a prop. But I think either way, the way that I said will work, the way that you said could probably work as well. Let's see. John Hansen says the state for a class can be a string that toggles. Okay. Dacron says, what does the and colon after thing do? I'm a noob. And Rook said it changes the color of the bar underneath the search bar. Yeah, that's basically what it does. Rook says, like the blue color underneath the bar when you type a comment here in the YouTube chat. Dacron says, LOL, all the API keys. Yeah, all the API keys. Rook says, oh, those changes are in the same file as the previous pull requests, so are there conflicts now? Dacron says, I think it would not offer to merge now if there are conflicts. We'll just have to deal with the conflicts. No Life says, hi, can you tell me what's wrong with my tribute page at CodePen? Do you do such things? No Life, send me the link. Oh, here it is. Alright, let's check this out. Alright, let's check this tribute page out real quick. So you want to know what's wrong with your tribute page? I don't remember what all the user stories are for this particular freeCodeCamp thing, so it looks okay to me. I mean, you have a timeline, you have an image, title. I mean, like in terms of fulfilling user stories, I think this is fine. In case you're wondering, this is one of the freeCodeCamp exercises that you have to do. I think this one's pretty early on. So, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think it's fine. Let me know if anybody else wants to check that out and give some feedback in the live chat. Please feel free. Harshit says, Discord theme, should I switch to light theme? The dark theme seems too dark. I don't know, I kind of like the dark theme. You know me though, I like all the dark theme stuff. But if you all like the light theme, keep it light. I can always just run like a custom script to change it dark, or even maybe they'll have the option to do that. I don't know, I haven't checked out all the settings yet. Let's see. Evo says those tests take a while. Yeah, the tests sometimes take a while. For a minor change like we had when we were running it, it does take a while. But I mean, it's okay. Tests are good to have, so I'm willing to go through it. Sometimes they're faster than other times. Evo says, I feel the social media icons are a bit too heavy on the eyes in the top right of the screen. Maybe space them out a little more. Alright, let's check it out. So we're talking about these social icons. Yeah, maybe we can adjust it. Well, yeah, there needs to be some adjustment here, I think, because we need to pull this button down off the top. We want to add a little padding up here, and we could kind of play around with different spaces between these. I'd like them to be kind of have like a minimum size so that they're still clickable, like reasonably clickable. But we can kind of mess around with this and see what works. And also, I had a thought. I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier. Like, I mean, look at what we have right now on a small screen. It looks terrible. Like, really terrible. We've basically been ignoring the mobile view, when what we should have been doing all along is working on the mobile view primarily, and then occasionally expanding out to make sure it still works all right. All right, if we think about this website is targeted at teenagers. Or is a teenager more likely to view this on their phone or to sit down at a desktop or laptop computer and view this? I mean, I can look up the statistics, but if I had to bet, I'd say that a teenager is more likely to be on the internet on their phone. So what we should do is, as we continue to develop this, we should do all development like this, and then the desktop view should be secondary to this view. I don't know. What do y'all think about that? I used to do all my development like that, and I don't know why I got away from it. Probably because I worked on some internal projects where it was going to be overwhelmingly viewed on a desktop, and I just got used to that. But for this project, I think it really makes sense to do the mobile view first. So that's what I'm going to start doing. So in future streams, this will be the default. Alexi says, I like the golden color, but not the yellow of the buttons. Alright, so we're talking here. Alright, so the golden color is good, but that yellow color not good. Okay. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate that. Oh, okay. I just saw Harshit's message that Harshit was upgrading to Discourse to version 2, so it might be unavailable. So that's why it was unavailable briefly for me. Devin says every tech startup uses .io, and that's Indian Ocean domain. Yeah, you could. So the using .af for something other than a website in Afghanistan is not. It's not uncommon for people to use country code domains for other things, right? And I'm sure we've all been to a .io website, because it seems like every tech website now is .io. Like we're on CodePen right now. It's codepen.io. Gander7 says, if you click a menu option like academics, click the grade jumbotron and click the same menu item again, it opens the sidebar with the submenu closed. Yes, excuse me, I am aware of that issue, and I did come up with a solution for it. I just did not code it yet. So I don't know what happened, but I remember I was about to implement that, and then I got pulled into something else, so I needed to do that. But thank you for bringing that up, and I'm really glad you reminded me, because I had completely forgotten about it. John Hansen says, I like the look of the search when clicked. Awesome. Awesome, cool. I will probably, like right now this isn't centered, so I want to make sure that that's centered. But other than that, I mean, that's pretty much good to go. Dacron says, have you ever considered starting your own group on the side to take on small projects with volunteer developers? I finished a boot camp recently, been trying to improve, hard time finding projects. That's a good idea. I want to talk about that more. Let me know in the live chat what you all think. So let me know, number one, would anybody be interested in something like that? And if we were to do something like that, how would it work? Would we do like free projects for nonprofits? Would we want to do paid projects? Yeah, how would... I mean, I guess if we did that, it'd be almost like we were an agency. But so I think it would be a lot easier to take on free projects, because we wouldn't have to deal with all like the taxes and paperwork and stuff. But let me know what you all think. I'm not entirely opposed to the idea. I mean, I guess it could operate a lot like we do now. We could potentially have like live coding sessions, so that everybody can be there checking it out, explaining it, and then have different people coding things, and then we could maintain our repositories on GitHub. Alright, let me know what you all think, though. I do think that's kind of a cool idea, and I actually already have a project in mind. I have one organization that could potentially be interested, and it could eventually turn into something that we would either sell, or we could just keep it open source and make it available. I guess let me know. I guess I can just tell you what it is. I don't care if anybody else tries it. If I think it's something that needs to be made by somebody. Doesn't have to be me. But I see a very big need for a learning management system that's open source, that's reliable and fits all the criteria to be able to be actually used by schools. You know, there are stricter data rules about students, especially students like under 18, at least in the United States. So whatever we would do in terms of collecting data, having a database. We need to make sure that that's all in shape to be able, to meet whatever standards it needs to. But basically, I want it to be a more modern, like full stack JavaScript, build it out with React. I want it to be very fast. I want it to be able to be have a UI for web, mobile, and desktop, and so the user can use it wherever they feel most comfortable. It definitely, obviously, needs to work mobile. I want so. There are a lot of parts of the world where people only have access to a phone and not a desktop, and their internet is not great. So it needs to be a progressive web app that works well on a phone. So I would say it needs to be like mobile first. So like we designed the whole LMS to be able to work on a phone, and then when you expand it to a desktop, it basically just gives you more space. We might be able to display more things, but we do it always with a phone in mind, and always in mind that the user doesn't have a good connection or is losing connection. So this would, I'm envisioning that this could be used by big organizations that have lots of resources, but it could also be used by small nonprofits that are trying to go into a country where, like I said, the internet access isn't good, and users might have very old smartphones. So it just needs to be really lightweight and work offline as much as possible. So a user could take quizzes and do stuff offline. As soon as they get any type of connection, it'll send the data. That's my thought. I'd like the UI to be, kind of really modern. Think like Udacity's UI or something like that. Udacity's UI is built with React, and it looks really nice. I like it. Is it perfect? No, I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm kind of thinking along those lines. If anybody's interested in a project like that, let me know. That doesn't have to be a project that we do, but I just thought, I'd throw that idea out there. I know we talked about it in the past, but if anyone's interested in that, I could create a repo for it, probably just use Create React App and just start working on it. Alright, so I took a long time to explain that. Let me try to get through. Alright, I'm almost all the way through the live chat, so let me get through that, and then we'll see how much time I have left in terms of getting the rest of this stuff merged. No Life says, Angel, I want to know why the name under the quote isn't the same like in the example. I'd have to take more of a closer look at it. Olzas says, what is DigitalOcean? DigitalOcean is it's like a web host, so you can purchase, they call them droplets. They're like little servers, okay, and you can host whatever you want on there. So usually, like, they run some version of Linux, so you have your own kind of Linux machine there to do whatever you want with. We use it to host a lot of our websites. Actually, if anyone is interested in DigitalOcean, I can give you my code if you want, and I think you will get some free credit for DigitalOcean, and I will get free credit. I know there are other codes out there that will get you more free credit, so you don't have to use my code, but if anyone's interested, let me know. I'll send it to you. I mean, if I'm going to start hosting this Discord forum, it would be cool to have some more free credit too. Michael Creel joined us. His early start today. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely an early start. This won't be the normal time. I'm not normally going to start at 10 a.m. my time. Kresimir asks about the GitHub Dark theme. Okay, and Rook said he uses GitHub Dark. First result when you Google it. Yeah, that's exactly right. Thanks, Rook. Rook says, do you have white space on the right on this project? On my machine, I have a horizontal scroll bar and some empty space on the right side. It's entirely possible that we have something like that happening. Let me see. Oh, yeah, for sure. What do we have? Oh, up here. So, yeah. Yeah, we've really been, I've been ignoring the mobile view, and like I said, I don't know what I was thinking. This is obviously a project that needs to be made primarily with the mobile view in mind. Alright, Dacron says, I'm totally interested. We can do free projects. We can do exp projects. I mean, like experience projects. I'm not sure what the exp is abbreviating. Is it experience? We can do group freelance. Important part is having someone experienced as a lead. We can meet on a few a week online. Gander7 says, I would be interested in side projects. Could start with nonprofits, but it could be a good move. Get paid at some point in the future. A lot more complexity in paid. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with the paid thing as well. So I did do freelancing in the past. I'm familiar with the contracts and billing and all that. I have been involved with having partners on freelance, so I do that. I mean, I obviously have experience with having projects with multiple volunteer contributors and that. So yeah, so I'd be open to it. If we were going to do it, like I said, I think it would be cool to start with some nonprofit stuff, a little bit less pressure, or maybe just some like side projects that are ideas for us. Maybe the least amount of pressure, just to kind of get a feel for working with each other. And then after that point, we could do some projects. That might be good, because then we actually have projects to show like as our portfolio. If we were going to do that, I want to make sure that we get like solid clients who can afford to pay us what we're worth, right? I don't want you all getting paid nothing. You know, and good projects, right? So we'll be able to use the technology that we want. So I'm okay with that. I know some other coders. I know some people that could help us with the business end of things as well, in terms of like handling taxes and payroll and all that, if we wanted to. I don't know if it should be based primarily like in the United States and everything goes out. We could try to see like what's the best way to set that up. But I'll think about it. Yeah, we'll cool. Blake says I'd be interested in coordinating the business side of things. Okay, cool. Let's do that. So first thing is, let's just get together and start talking about things and not worry about the business side right away. I don't think it'd be a good idea to just jump right into paying projects without having worked with each other at all. Olsauce is interested. Nick is interested. About to finish Flatiron Bootcamp and looking to keep improving my skills. Cool, Nick. My wife just finished Flatiron Bootcamp, and she might enroll in another one of their boot camps soon as well. Let's see. Dacron says React with Rails backend sounds like a good start. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I don't have any experience at all with Rails, but I'm open to it. Louise says, Louise, sorry if I'm pronouncing this, is Luz, Luiz? I feel I should know how to pronounce Louis. Is it just Louis? Anyway, let me know how to pronounce it. I'm going to stop messing it up. I apologize. But anyway, they're interested as well. And it says, Jesse, do you have any course on Udemy, for example, on a full development system using React, Node? Do you know all that stuff? I don't have any courses. I don't know. If anybody honestly thinks that I should do a course, let me know. I'd be interested in doing that. It'd probably take me a while to get it together. But I never really thought about doing it. We got a question. Could you explain what you're teaching? I was watching for 2 days, but I can't understand. Okay, yeah, it's probably been a bit confusing for the last couple of days because we've been jumping into like different projects and things right in the middle of it. So what I do on this stream is I stream my day-to-day work as a front-end developer. I work for a small university, and so whatever I need to be working on that day, that's what I stream. So it's not exactly a tutorial, and it's not always in order. I jump around from project to project. Sometimes some emergency thing comes up that I need to fix. But when I am streaming, I try to explain what I'm doing as best I can. In particular, right now, most of our projects are JavaScript-based. We're using React. And the design of it is usually based on material design. And if you have any questions about anything, let me know. I'm more than happy to explain what I'm doing, go back over something. So let me know, and I'll try to help you understand as much as possible. But that's kind of like the short version of what we do here. All right, Harshit now has HTTPS up and working for javascript.af. Wow, Rook says the white space is there even when it's full screen. Let's check that out. All right, so you're right. We do have a bit of white space. So somewhere I have something producing some white space. I'll have to fix that. Offhand, I don't know what it could be, but I'm sure once I start, if I check it out in DevTools, it shouldn't be too hard to find. Dacron says, let's get this going. How do I get in touch with you? Probably the best way, Dacron, if you're on Twitter, just DM me on Twitter. You could email me at jesseweigo@gmail.com if you want to. But I kind of prefer Twitter DMs. Once we get into maybe more like business where we need to talk more, email or something else might be better, but those two ways are probably going to be the easiest ways to talk to me. Michael Creel says, wait, what did I miss? Are we getting paid to watch your stream now? Not yet, Michael. Not yet. Maybe one day. If we were to do a project, especially if it was paid, the streams would move to probably my channel, and we may not be able to do public streams. If it's our own side projects, I'm totally fine with us doing everything public. But if it's for a paying client, we definitely have to get them to agree to it first. And I wouldn't want to do it on freeCodeCamp because freeCodeCamp does work kind of exclusively with volunteer stuff for nonprofits. I could check with Quincy and see what he thinks. But just to be safe, I'm saying now that those streams would probably have to be on my channel. Dacron says, I don't care about pay at the moment. I'm just in it for a learning experience and becoming a better developer. That's cool. That's cool. Let's see. Harshit says, now you can ask questions on Discourse. Says, I will be personally answering them. All right, cool. So Harshit will be answering questions on Discourse. I'm going to check in on Discourse too, and I can answer stuff. Anything back-end related for sure, I think Harshit's better to ask questions about. But I'm also going to be there to answer questions. Louise. Okay, is that how it's pronounced? Louise? All right, thank you, Fabio. Sorry, I was mispronouncing that. Let's see. Christ-centered Dev says, anytime I inquire about the beta curriculum, seems like people ignore the issue. It would be awesome if someone would do an update since Quincy informed people about the Christmas due date. Yeah, so I don't know for sure what happened with the Christmas date. I never really looked into that. So I personally have I have the same amount of information as you all have in terms of when the beta curriculum is going to be out, so I'm not involved in that project. So I don't know why you're not getting an answer to the issue. I think you can work on the beta curriculum if you want to. So it is available. I'm trying to think who would. Usually anytime anyone asks Quincy, the answer is always soon. So I think you'll probably get the same answer, which is soon, which is true. I mean, Quincy wants it to be good before it's released, and you can't really put a date on that. But I don't know how, but I know it's possible to start doing the curriculum now, even though it's not officially released yet. Does anybody know how to do that? Alright, Blake said, gotta go, watch the rest later. See you later, Blake. Thanks for watching. Michael says, if you'll take me, I'm in. I'm trying to build up a CV and anything would help. Okay, cool, for sure. John Hansen said, your wife is soon going to be getting a dev job at Google. Yeah, I was joking. My wife, I had joked with my wife earlier and said that she's going to end up being my boss one day. She's going to be a project manager or something. And but it's crazy. She's been working so hard and learning so much. Andrew's interested as well. Awesome. Cool. Let's see. Harsh said, I had put your face in the logo. Oh, I am. My face is there now. Oh, man. Let's see. John Hansen said, usually that white space is a margin or overflow issue. Yeah, I'll have to check. Usually when I have white space issues, I just go into DevTools, which that screen is too big. Whoops. And I just go through and see which box goes over into that white space, and sometimes that'll do it. It doesn't always work. I assumed it would be something here with the header layout. Is that it? No, it's not it. I'm not going to have time to go through all this because then I won't be able to finish the live chat, but this is my my normal method of troubleshooting stuff like this. Usually I can find it. Where's our button? I thought it would be that. About this. I don't know. We'll see. No Life says, I don't understand most of the time because I'm a newbie, but I know you definitely should make some courses. Do you have some personal channel or only here at freeCodeCamp? I do have a personal channel. So if you look in the description for this video, there should be a link for my personal YouTube channel. I only have a few videos on there now, but I really would like to put some more tutorials. And hopefully, I started to put out some more videos recently. Maybe I'd like to stick to one a week. So if I could try to make a new video once a week, I think that would be fine. Maybe just some short, really focused tutorials. I think my channel is just Jesse R. Weigel. I should just look it up. Actually, I have it here. I'll paste the link in for you all. Oh, it's Jesse Weigel 29. Copy. All right, there we are. So I pasted the link to my YouTube channel. okay, sorry, Rook. So the name is so Nikki. So I was saying Nikki. I apologize for that. It's Nikki. Is that correct, Nikki? I'll have to do. I'll really try to remember that. I'm sorry. In the United States, that's how we always pronounce it. So I apologize. No Life says, sorry for my English. Oh, don't worry about it. Your English is great. Okay, so Rook says beta.freecodecamp.org. Rook, would you prefer on the streams if I say Nikki or if I just say Rook? Because it doesn't matter to me either way, but I'd rather call you what you like to be called. All right, Andrew said, Quincy said they're still cleaning it up. No release date yet. Louise says, thanks for the answer. No problem in pronunciation. It's a Brazilian name. I suggest you creating a Udemy course on developing some system from scratch. It would be great. All right, cool. I'll definitely think about that. I'll look into like the process I'd have to go through to do that. Let's see. So, but yeah, beta.freecodecamp.org. Check that out for the beta curriculum. Michael says, today's live chat is kind of cool. It's almost a group chat. Yeah, it is. It is. So I apologize for anybody that tuned in the stream and was expecting something a little different. It just kind of turned into a chat like this, which, I mean, it's fine. Honestly, we sometimes we just don't stick to the topic. I mean, that's how it is, I guess, when you do something live like this. But I think this was definitely a good chat. Rook says, yep, that's right, but pronouncing it the American way is also fine. Just wanted to hear you say it. No, Rook, for sure, I'll pronounce it the way that you prefer to pronounce it. Yeah, I don't want to mispronounce your name. Also, Rook says, I don't have a preference in you saying my real nickname. All right, maybe I'm going to try to say your real name, and then that way, for me, I'd like to remember it. So if I keep saying it, I'll remember it. So if it's cool with you, I'll try to say it. So from now on, when I see Rook, I'm going to say Nikki, and hopefully there won't be too much confusion with people in the live chat. Angel says, I'm back. I see I lost a lot of fun. I guess so, yeah. Glad you're back, though. No Life says, thanks. I will look at it after I get a little better so I can fully understand that. Let's see. Rook says, I already read that one. Harsha says, thinking for a new blog post. Any ideas? Spook says, hi all, are you creating a tribute page for Free Code Camp Challenge? No, I'm not creating a tribute page, but we were kind of reviewing someone else's tribute page. And actually, all right, I gotta wrap things up because I need to leave like right now so I can get to my appointment on time. So thank you all so much for, I don't know, like just talking with me in this stream today. It was awesome. I mean, we did get some things merged in. Sorry we didn't get back to fixing the merge conflicts. If anyone really wants to know about this, I don't know, maybe I can do a video about it or something. Maybe I'll try to do it later and just record it and I'll throw it on my channel. We'll see. Let me know if you're interested in that. But anyway, I'll be back tomorrow, and I don't know what we'll be working on tomorrow. We'll see. But thanks again, and until tomorrow, have a great day.